How do you feel looking back on your film career after all this, after all these years?
I know I'm old, but I'm not that old to start feeling nostalgic. I mean, I have had a career of, what, 28 years, 1960 to now. And I think it's been lovely, it's been very nice. I've been very lucky, very fortunate that I started to get work almost immediately when I had decided to go into the movies.
Was this because of your family connections?
Well, yes, of course. No, I mean, I didn't get work because of my family connections. I had to go into the films, or rather come into the film industry because of my family. You see, I got married and I'd got a son by 1959, and by 1960 I felt that it was high time that I started to earn more money. And so I left the theatre in 1960 when Prithvi Theatres closed down and started looking around for jobs in the movies. It was difficult, but I got it.
But you weren't really interested in films. I mean, theatre was your
No,
first love.
theatre, yes. Theatre was always my first love. Still is. Though I haven't acted on the stage for years and years and years, but I will maybe. Maybe I'll go back. At the moment my voice is so bad I can't even dream of going back to the theatre. It's with all this yelling around I'm doing.
Well, you've always been a top star, though you never had the #1 position, though you had everything going for you. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I've actually, as I said, you see, when I came into the movies, it wasn't to be a star, or it was just to get a job and just do your work and play your part, do the acting bit and then get on with it. So I had never really aspired to be a star, and that never really inflated me or deflated me. It never worried me. It never made me go on a high trip. So it was okay for me, I mean, it's all right.
What would you do differently if you had been given the chance, looking back?
Oh, nothing. I think I would try and act better than I did going back. But no, I would have done exactly the same thing again. I mean, I think amongst us brothers, we three brothers, Mr. Raj Kapoor, Mr. Shami Kapoor and I think I was the one who was absolutely sure about what he wanted to do, whether it was acting or whether it was marriage. I mean, when I saw Jennifer when I was 18, I wanted to marry her immediately. My parents said, my God, 18 is a bit young. And so I said, okay, I'll wait. So I waited 2 years. Then they asked me, do you still want us? Yes. And they said, okay. Like when I was 6, I think, an amazing thing happened to me. I saw my first film, Sikandar, which I remember very clearly. And I also appeared on the stage in the Royal Opera House, in Prithvi Theatres play. So that was my deciding age. At the age of 6, I think, I'd made up my mind that I do want to be in the show business. Like I was 12 when I was making my first 16mm movie. So I've done all this before.
But it's said that you never really took your film career very seriously at the time. You were a bit of a ham.
I still am. I didn't, because I just came in. I just came in to get enough money to be able to support a family. And I did manage that well. I looked after my family, I looked after my children's education, living, holidays and house and car and crew and all that. Did that.
Many of your contemporaries are still doing romantic roles, while you seem to have transcended into character parts.
Yeah, well.
How do you feel? I mean, how did that happen?
It happened, I think, during Vijayta. I decided that it was high time I started playing character parts. And so I gave myself a character part in my own film, playing my father's son. No, my son's father, my father's son, my son's father. So I did that. And I rather liked it. And I said, okay. And the next film, I did play a character part, Utsav. Then I got some very nice offers to do certain films, and where they wanted me to play character parts. And I said, sure, yes. I mean, mind you, I was 18 when I played Jennifer's father, Brabantio, in Othello. So, I mean, I have never minded playing character parts. I think it's fine. I mean, I'm a bit embarrassed at my contemporaries playing lead parts and singing around trees and singing love songs to little girls when their sons are singing songs to the same girls.
Jennifer's death seems to have affected you a lot in that way. I mean, it seems to have changed your priorities, your lifestyle.
Well, surely, of course, yeah.
Would you expand on that?
No.
Please.
It's a very personal thing, Let's stay on the professional side.
Well, how has your lifestyle changed?
My lifestyle, fine. I mean, I've become a director. I'm making a movie. I'm making a real commercial movie, Ajuba. And I'm doing it with all the capacity, capability, strength I have. I wish I had more money for it, though. I mean, we could make it into a real big, colossal, Spielbergish film, fantasy film.
Jennifer was obviously the most important woman in your life.
Of course.
So how did she influence you as a person, as an actor?
Again, you're coming into a very, Hindi में बोलते हैं जाती मामला, personal thing.
No, but I mean, what was...
Of course, she played a very important role in my life as a wife, as an actress, as a friend, as a philosopher, as a guide. Yeah, sure, 28 years of being together. Quite a lot.
Well, then how is it that such a talented person like her took so long to find expression? I mean,
what do you mean?
Was it a deliberate decision?
What do you mean, expression?
Well, it was 36 Charangi. I mean, for a long time there was...
No, before that, she was on the stage with me up to about 63, 64. She'd had kids by then, 2 kids. And then there was a gap. Then she was in Shakespeare Wala. Then she was in Bombay Talkie in 1970. It bombed. That's another story. But in 1970, she played my lead. And then it was Chaurangi Lane. Before Chaurangi Lane, it was in Junoon. So she was there, and there was no deliberate kind of forcing her not to work. We never did that.
What do you miss most about her?
Again, come to the wrong thing.
Okay. Last one. What do you miss about her? Well, as a person. एक लाइन बोलता.
नहीं, वो नहीं बोलेंगे.
What made you decide to become a producer? I mean, did it start with 36 Charangi Lane?
No, 36 was not my first film. My first film was Junoon. Second one was Kalyug. And third was 36 Charangi Lane. This was in 1970s, mid-70s, when I was really working very hard and almost round the clock, and doing lots and lots of films, but I was not getting any satisfaction. My mom and dad had died, and I missed them, and I just, there was a kind of a vacuum in my life, and so I asked my wife, I said, what shall I do? And she said, well, why don't you do what you want to do? I said, I would love to make a theatre, and I would love to make a film that I'm proud of. She said, well, why don't you do it? So we did it. We built a theatre, and we made Junoon, then Kalyug, then 36 Charangi Lane, and then Vijayta, then Utsav.
How did they fare?
They bombed.
All of them?
You laugh.
Okay, Ajuba is the first film you're directing.
Ajuba is the first film I'm directing as an adult. When I was young, as I said earlier, I directed a film called Pasi. Really, and we shot in RK Studios. I suppose that was the only time when I was shooting on Sundays, because it was during school holidays, Thursdays and Sundays. We shot at RK.
You're an actor, you're a producer, you're a director.
And a fat old man.
Well, which aspect really fascinates you most?
All. I think ever since I can remember, almost every day, almost every year of my life, my age, has fascinated me. I mean, I don't think I can tell you about any kind of regrets at having done the stage work or film work. Or, it's been a very fascinating journey. As a producer, it was good. As an actor, it was good. As a student, maybe it was not good. I was very unhappy. I kind of didn't enjoy being a student.
And being a director, what is it? I mean, what are you finding out? I mean,
it's great. I think I can probably take an army, and because it's like a one-man army show, I'm doing it. That's why I'm so hoarse. I'm yelling at people, getting my work done, running behind schedules, and then getting up, making up with the time schedule and all that.
You're one Indian actor who has succeeded in doing many foreign films. Now, why is it that you have been so successful?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think providence, luck, or something like that. No, I think I was just lucky to get into the Merchant Ivory Productions unit, where I've been very happy. I've done 5 films for them. The Householder was the first, then Shakespeare Wala, then Bombay Talkie, then Heat and Dust, and now The Deceivers. And I have lovely memories, not always very kind of happy memories, but lovely memories. You know, there's a little difference. And we, Ismail and Jim and I and Ruth and my wife, we always had a very nice association. Through thin and thick, through happiness and sorrow, we were together. And we still are, yeah.
Today, what do you give priority to the role or to money when you sign a film?
I give it to vodka and food.
When you sign a film, Shashi?
Well, think of vodka and food. You have to pay for it, you know.
So it's not the role. You wouldn't do a film for a role.
Of course I would. I've just done it. I think Sammy and Rosie got laid. It was a very, very difficult role, and there wasn't money in it. But I did it because, I mean, the role nearly killed me. I've never worked so hard, and you can see it.
I will. Okay, which films or films have you worked in that you have certain memorable, sort of had memorable experiences or memories of?
Oh, like I said, you see, it's been a very fantastic journey for 28 years.
But which film stands out or experiences?
Lots of them, you know. I have so many. I mean, The Householder and Shakespeare Wala, all of Merchant Ivory Productions. Then there was a film I did with Conrad Rooks, Siddhartha, that was great fun. Then I did a film with Guy Green, partly in Singapore and partly in London. That was good, and Sammy and Rosie was good. Amongst the Indian films, you know, all the films that Amitabh and I did together were great fun, great camaraderie, good unit. Then I did, in the earlier days, I did films with Bimal Roy, who was a terrific, terrific motion picture maker. I do use some of the things that I learnt then. Then I did a film, his company, I did a film with Meena Kumariji, who taught me how to speak a few lines, you know, in a way that would be projected well, would be received well with the audience. So there have been lots of films. Then, of course, my own films. I mean, Junoon and Kalyug and 36 and Vijeta and Utsav and now Ajuba. So, I mean, there have been so many films and so many plays. I mean, I loved being with Shakespeareana Company. I loved being with Prithvi Theatre, where I learned a lot, and I thank God to that, you know, thank God for that. I mean, I'm very sorry when I see kids now who want to become actors. They don't have any theatre to go to. They go to these acting courses, these crash acting courses, you know, which are all big money hassles, you know, the big, what do you call it? What's the name?
Scams.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a shame, but I mean, I enjoyed playing Shakespeare and Shaw and Sheridan. Great.
Which filmmakers' works have had the greatest impression on you that you feel have influenced you?
So many. Well, when I was a kid, people like Devki Bose and Mehboob Khan, Mr. Raj Kapoor, of course, Mr. Shantaram, Bimal Roy, Guru Dutt, and Satyajit Ray, Shyam Benegal.
What is it about them that's...
Many things. You know, it would take all day, or maybe books to explain exactly what it is.
A lot of important people in the industry have joined politics.
Yeah.
Have you any such ambitions?
No. I don't understand politics of films also, you know. I have not understood family politics either. Though I made a film on family politics, Kalyug. But no, I'm not a politician, I'm not a politique. I stick to my kind of work and have my vodka, and I think it's time
All
I
three
had
of your
my-
children, 3 more questions.
Yeah.
All 3 of your children have followed you into films. Now, did
Isn't
you
that nice?
encourage?
No, no.
that, or
Of
what?
course, I was there to encourage if they wanted any advice, but there was no forcing, like with me. My dad never forced me, but my dad was there. So at the age of 6, when I showed an inclination, he kept me at school, but at the same time, I was allowed to come on the stage or go along with him during tours. You know, he never said, "Hey, acting nahi karna." He never said that. Same thing, I never did that with Kunal and Karan and Sanjana.
Have you ever considered remarrying?
Oh, Christ, no. Why? No. No, I couldn't. I don't think I can. I don't think I can find anyone better.
Have you looked?
I know I can't. Really, I know I can't find anyone like that. They're not made anymore, you know. They don't make them like that. That was a 1934 model, very well built.